The great chief in Washington sends word that he wishes to buy our land. He asks much of us. This land is sacred to us. How can you buy or sell the sky, the rain, and the wind? The idea is strange to us. If we do not own the freshness of the air and the sparkle of the water, how can you buy them? Every part of this earth is sacred to my people. Every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods, every clearing and humming insect is holy in the memory and experience of my people. The sap which courses through the trees carries the memories of the red man. The rocky crests, the meadows, the ponies, and man all belong to the same family. The perfumed flowers are our sisters, the deer, the bear, the great eagle, these are our brothers. The rivers quench our thirst, they carry our canoes and feed our children. This shining water that moves in the streams and rivers is not just water, but the blood of our ancestors. Each ghostly reflection in the clear water of the lakes tells of events and memories in the life of my people. The water's murmur is the voice of my father's father. Our ways are different from your ways. The sight of your cities pains the eyes of the red man. There is no quiet place in the white man's cities. No place to hear the unfurling of leaves in spring, or the rustle of an insect wings. The clatter only seems to insult the ears. And what is life there, if a man cannot hear the voices of the nightjar or the frogs around the pond at night? I've seen 1,000 rotting buffaloes on the prairie, left by the white man who shot them from passing train. I do not understand how the smoking iron horse can be more important than the buffalo that we kill only to stay alive. What is man without the beasts? If all the beasts were gone, man would die from a great loneliness of spirit. The earth is our mother. Whatever befalls the earth, befalls the sons of the earth. The earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. Even the white man whose God walked and talked with him as friend to friend cannot be exempt from the common destiny. It is the order of nature, and the regret is useless. We may be brothers after all. We will see. Where is the thicket? Gone. Where is the eagle? Gone. The end of living and the beginning of survival.
Essentially, we started with the poles. This is, in the Blackfeet style, a 3-pole structure. So they start by raising a tripod that's tied at the top. They then go around and lay in all the other poles in a specific sequence into that tripart structure in the top. Once those poles are firm and in place, They're a little bit looped again at the top with a tie to be firm. And then one singular pole has the entire cover of the teepee tied to the top of it. It's raised onto the back of the teepee, and then, like a flying tent, the teepee is unfurled on either side around to the front, where the lacing pins are then inserted down onto the front until you reach the doorway. I'm Susan Kennedy Zeller, Associate Curator for the Native American Art here at the Brooklyn Museum, and we are installing Teepee Heritage of the Great Plains. This is a major exhibition opening at the Brooklyn Museum February 18th, running until May 15th. Behind me and surrounding me is what we call our Welcome Teepee. It is a special teepee that is 30 feet tall and 23 feet wide. We commissioned it from Lyle J. Heavy Runner, who is Blackfeet artist, and it has the bleeding buffalo skull design, which is a design that he literally owns and painted for us. The reason we call it the Welcome Teepee is because it is the beginning of the entire exhibition, and the public is welcome to enter the teepee. We're asking that everyone be able to experience teepees from the inside out and go on in and see what the structure is of this wonderful teepee. And then go on to the rest of the exhibition and discover everything as to why the teepee is so essential to Native American culture, not just historically, but today in contemporary times.
They had been told a long time before that there was a good chance the white people that would come would not be keeping the true life plan. Therefore, war and other catastrophes would take place. About 1400 to 2000 years ago, they came to the place where they are now living in Arizona. It is called Old Aribe because it is the oldest continually inhabited settlement in North America. At that time, a man came out of heaven and appeared to them. He was wearing a long white flowing robe. He had a long beard that was forked. He had bluish-green eyes and taught them the original teachings of the true life plan again. He also taught them other new things. He taught them how to greatly increase their productivity as well as improve their lifestyle. He helped them to better understand agriculture and gave them corn, which is the lifestay of their people. He taught them what to do to live in peace and harmony with one another. He stayed with them for a short time and gave them a set of stone tablets, which they have to this day. They called him the Masao. Today, many of them believe he was Jesus Christ, as they have been introduced and become familiar with the white man's religion. And many of them do not believe he was Jesus Christ. He told them he was the first and the last. And when he was ready to leave, they begged him to stay. He said, "I must go to my Father, but I will come again." He left them with the stone tablets and told them he was also going to visit and give stone tablets to the other colored peoples of the world, the black, the yellow, and the white. They say they have met and seen the tablets the Tibetans have, and that they are their cousins. They say the Kikuyu tribe of Africa also have a set of these stone tablets, and they claim there is another set of stone tablets with the Swiss people, a group that lives high in the Swiss mountains. They have not seen the tablets of the Swiss, but they have been told that they have them. These tablets contain the original teachings of the way they should live in peace, as well as the prophecies of what would happen from the time he left until the time he came. He promised them he would one day return to live with them and to help them build a society of utter peace here on this land. They are anxiously awaiting that day. Equally astounding to me were the prophecies made by this white-bearded god, the foretelling of future events, and the accuracy of the predictions. I would like to share with you a few prophecies of the Hopis and others about this land, given by the white-bearded, blue-eyed god prior to his promised return. They were told by the white god, known to them as the Masao, that the time would come when the white man would come upon the land, and would force them onto small parcels of land and lord over them. That they would lose many of their rights, and they would take away many of their customs, and that they would seek to take away their traditions. But he told them the white man would also bring a lot of good things with him. He would bring technology that would allow them to bring running water right into their huts. That was a miracle to the Hopis, because they live on the top of 3 600-foot mesas. The only source of water is a stream that runs along the valley floor below, a tedious and exhausting job. But he told them never to become too reliant upon it, because the day would come when the water would become filthy and would not be drinkable. He told them they would develop a system of power that would make it so they could touch the side of their hut and it would light up. He also warned them about this, saying the world would be shaken 3 times before he came, twice with 1 hand, and the 3rd time with 2 hands. In the 3rd shaking, the power would be taken away, so not to become too reliant upon it. They were told the shakings would be serious conflicts of war and hardship. Because of this, 20% of Hopis refuse to have electricity or running water, fearing dependence on what will be taken from them. Others feel it is okay to use it, but to be prepared when it is lost. The Mosau continued to prophesy that the last shaking would be much more severe, but that they could avoid it if the people would turn back to God and live the commandments he had given them. It did not have to happen. He gave them prophecies about the first shaking that would take place close to that time, so they would be able to recognize it was about to take place. They would see carriages spinning along the ground, and later they would connect them together, and they would go down a line of metal, and smoke would come out of the top of them. This, of course, was the arrival of the train, or the locomotive steam engine. He told them they would see carriages that were pulled by animals, and they would notice they would no longer need animals to pull them, but they would move by themselves. This was clearly the automobile. Then he told them they would see the carriages begin to lift off the ground and begin to fly, leaving a trail of dust in the sky. Obviously a description of the airplane. And all of these things were invented shortly before the First World War, which they believe was the first great shaking. Then he told them they would see a black ribbon that would start to cross the continent, all the way back and forth, and that little bugs would go back and forth on this black ribbon. They saw this also come as our highway system, as they witnessed it from a distance, with the automobiles driving back and forth on it, and the rounded, buggish shapes of our automobiles in the 50s and 60s. Before the second shaking, they would see a people rise up in power that would be led by a sign or symbol that he drew on a rock. Those who have seen this sign say it is the swastika that Hitler used in Germany. They would also join with the people of the rising sun and bring about the second great shaking. The Japanese are recognized by the rising sun. And he told them the second great shaking would end by having a gourd of ashes being dropped from the sky, and that where it had landed, nothing would grow for some time. We all know about the nuclear bomb dropped on Japan that ended the Second World War. As you can see, all of these prophecies have already taken place.